Hello, my friends. This is Sheree. How's everyone doing today? Welcome to my channel, Turquoise Dreaming. I'm here with a flip through for you of this journal I've been working on for the past couple of weeks. My video is a little late today because I have the day off, and I got up, I let Jazzy out, I gave her her medicine and a treat, and made sure she had some food. She already had water, came in here, started working on this journal and decided to finish it up, and then now I'm doing the video. That's my morning so far, so I have had a good morning. I hope you have too. So let me show you this journal. This is a little goodie pack that I guess I will show you in a minute. This journal has already been claimed, so I could leave that as a surprise, but I'll probably show it to you. So here she is. I really love how this turned out. I love this book, first of all. And I got this book from a thrift store. I know one of my subbies and friends mentioned that she thought I got this from a live sale, but I have never bought anything from a live sale. I don't really even go to live sales because I know I'm not going to buy anything because I get everything from my thrift stores, and usually the live sale prices are higher. Just to review what I told her, the live sale prices are usually higher than what I pay for my things that I get at thrift stores. So that's why I don't, I don't really, I guess I'm just lucky that I get things, and have thrift stores that I can go to. But just FYI, I don't get anything from, if you thought you saw me in one, it's probably because it was somebody else with a similar name or something. But anyway, I thought that was interesting because I was like very surprised because oh no, I don't get anything from live sales type of thing. But anyway, everything in here is from a thrift store except for the things that I bought new, of course, like some of the like charms and things like that. So anyway, here she is. Let me show you the outside. Here's her little closure, the charm, 3 signatures, the back here, with the rickrack. I think that rickrack really matches and blends well with the colors here, and the fabric, of course, was so perfect. I couldn't believe it was like the same colors as in this book. It's just, I'm always amazed at how things come together. And let me take this off and show you the front here. I love the cover just the way it is, and I have a thing for kind of these rough corners, so I don't cover them up with anything usually. I mean, once in a great while I do, but I didn't want to cover up any of this, the words here or anything, so I didn't put any corners on it. So, and it's a very old book. Someone looked it up for, I think this is the one somebody looked up for me and said it was 1930s, because I didn't have the copyright page anymore. I have already used the book pages, elsewhere. But someone looked it up for me in a comment. They made a comment. I think they either made another comment or they looked it up or sent me an email or something, or a message. But yeah, 1930s, so very old book. So let's get started with the flip through. Here's the inside cover. So I used the rickrack in here, and then I used this fabric ribbon in here. This is a book plate where somebody can write on, or I know who's getting it, so she can write on here if she wants a name, a date, whatever. Like sometimes some people, I've heard, and I've done it too, where you write the date here when you started the journal, and then maybe you write the date in the back somewhere when you finished, so that you know what years or months, whatever, however long it takes you to get through the journal, what period of time it goes through. So I started each signature off with a pretty piece of scrapbook paper like this, kind of vintagey looking, and I coffee dyed all the backs of them. And these particular pages, I folded over the little extra here because I would have had to cut it off. And I thought, well, why cut it off when I can just fold it over and it can be a little decoration for this side. This is a piece of typing paper that someone typed on. I don't know if this is, I think this is the front page. Sometimes you know how you make a copy and it's not blue or anything like from carbon paper. So I think it's the original typing from someone, and it's like onion and skinny type paper. It even had a rusty paper clip here that I think I took off when I found it. Made a little pocket over here. And this is an old postcard that has never been used, as you can see there. It's one of the postcards that people would get, I guess, and just to, you know, it's already had the postage on it. I guess you prepaid for these, and then just had these ready to go. You could just throw them in the mail, and you already had your stamp on there. That's just what I think that's how that was. And then this is some playing cards that I thought were pretty. Recently picked up these, I believe, and these are very vintagey looking, so I put a couple of those in there. And then a few of the pages have trim, which I think I already showed you in one of my videos, but this is a page from Pattern Instructions. And I put that little extra trim on there just to peek out. Like, I leave it so that this little edge, it's kind of a tatting. I think it is I think that is tatting on the edge there. And it's, you know, man-made or whatever, but still, that is tatting. It looks like tatting, and I just leave that so it peeks out over the edges when I use that. But I think I used the rest of this in this journal. This is a first day issue envelope. I also used some of that trim here. And so, let's see, I didn't add anything to the front of this. This is how it was. And then in here I put some, this person that got this journal mentioned that she wanted some of my fussy cuts that I was showing you in my Use It or Lose It video. So I'm not going to take every one out of here, but there's quite a few in here, so she'll get to play with those goodies. And that's on a type page from a typing book. And you can see it over here too. I did add this little piece here that says notes, a little label. This is a little tuck spot here that I did in a video where I was doing something like using, this is from a magazine, I think. I think so. It's thick though, so I'm not sure. Anyway, I had made this on a video, and then I had it in my stash, so I finally used it in here. So it's a little tuck spot here, or it's kind of a big tuck spot. But I tucked in here an old, this is a very old Bridge Tally score sheet that I had decorated with this Tim Holtz piece. It's been, let's see, oh, I backed it up with some cardstock, so it's sturdy and distressed around the edges. So that is tucked in there. This side, she wanted one of these cards, so I tucked one in here for her. I think this is the one she was talking about. So this is the envelope, and a pretty envelope with one of these little flower-shaped cards. And yeah, I found those at a thrift store. One of my favorite ones. This is a shorthand page, and this, I guess I reinforced this. There's some washi here, and it's really pretty. If you see it peeking out there, very pretty. Coffee dyed paper here with one of my, this is an envelope that I decorated. So she's got that envelope. She can do whatever. The back part is sewing instructions, and the front is also sewing instructions with a little cluster and one of the little pattern ladies. I added a number 5 there too, I see. So lots of fun stuff on here. And that's just tucked up in there. And this is the card. I showed you this in a previous video too, that very vintage card that I cut the top off. So someone, or she, now that at the time I didn't know who was getting it, I don't think, but you can see this is a window here that goes all the way through. So you can see this pretty paper behind. Or she could put something in here and be able to see through the window. And then she could glue it back together, or write in here, or whatever she wants to do. She could even make it into a pocket and just do the sides, slip something in there. Just lots of options with that. That's why I cut the top apart, so in case she did want to have it separate. But she can always put it back together. So this is pretty scrapbook paper here that I avocado dyed on the back. This is some more in the middle too. I put a this is all from the same paper pad, where I took these pretty pieces of vintagey looking scrapbook paper and coffee dyed the back. And then this side has a pocket, and in the pocket I have some tags and journaling cards. This is tag and journaling card there. And oh, wait a minute, this one opens up. Hold the phone here. This one opens up. So you've got that space. And then this is one of the little booklets I made from the packaging from the Sewing Pattern Ladies. So this one came out really nice. It just even tickles me now that I look at it. So you've got the cover. I put some pretty paper back here to decorate the back because it had some words and things. I added a piece of fabric over the top, this black with white polka dots fabric, and a bow. And her dress, she has a black hat on with a black dress that looks like it has kind of like white polka dots. And so this is a little booklet too, where I added some paper in here. So, and this is coffee dyed paper. So, fun paper. I covered this up too. See, it looks like I glued this down. Made these quite a couple months ago, but I glued paper there and here. Nope, this one was already white, but this probably had something on it that I wanted to cover up, so I put some paper there. So that is in here. Here's the center with a couple of, most of these buttons that I put in the center, each center has 2 buttons on the strings, and I believe they are mostly vintage. You know, they're in my vintage buttons, but sometimes I mix them up with the new ones that look newer. I really don't know how old they are because I don't think any of these are new. I do have some new ones, and I keep those separate. And these were in all my thrifted buttons jar. So another pocket here. This is a mushroom journaling card. It's kind of cardstocky. I think I cut this out from a card. I think this was from a card. It had a little ladybug right there. So cute. And this is a journaling card that I just made from scraps, from scrapbook paper. This is a tag. It has a little bird here and, you know, these strips. It's sewn around and it's got some, oh, this was a brochure that I put on the back, but that is light enough you could write over that. And then a pretty blue lace there. And I put a few scraps in here where I just folded them over the page. So she would have paper to do whatever what she wants with. You can make pockets out of this, journaling cards, writing spots, just anything and everything you could think of, envelope, whatever, flip up, flip down, whatever you want to do. So, and this is the back half of the card. That opens up too, so lots of options there. And this is a little tuck up here with a journaling card. This is cards backed with cardstock, so nice and sturdy. It's sewn around too. And this page here, see, I have another. This is a page I was going to put in here, and it didn't make it into the journal, but it has a cool typed out recipe here on this old paper. I didn't distress this. This is naturally aged, so very cool on this shorthand page. I just have it flipped on there. Here's that pretty washi again. Here's a page, it's a coffee dyed page with a pocket here. And I did a little cluster here. I ran across, when I was looking through my buttons, I ran across this little cameo. And I thought, oh, I have to put it in here. So this is a very old piece of lace from a very old linen that I have. I can't remember if I coffee dyed this or it's naturally aged. But anyway, it just looks pretty perfect there. So journaling card here, and this is a little postcard that I made during one of my videos with my new stamps that I had picked up, so from one of my sponsors. So that is in here. And then this page is, I'm trying to think of what that's from. I think this is from the typing book, and I added that fabric ribbon there. Okay, and here's a little corner decoration here that I put there. A pocket here. And in here I have a tag that I had made from a bandana with a label there that you can write on, and you can write on the back or, you know, whatever you want to do. This is a little card that I made from these pieces here. And it just opens up and there's the back. This was the paper here. So it's like cardstock, but it was pretty, this pretty vintagey color. And then I glued these squares on. These are 4 squares that I glued on the front here. Very pretty. I think those are Tim Holtz too, those little squares. Here on this page, okay, so I made some of these paper clips, kind of I'll show you them now. They're kind of a use it or lose it. That was my thought behind it. So let me show you what's on the paper clip first. This bridge tally card with the hummingbird and a card from my vocabulary set of cards that I have. In that vocabulary set is just their punctuation, a grammar, vocabulary, all sorts of cards. So this is a punctuation card, but you can do whatever you want with that. It's just a little piece of ephemera. So I made these paper clips. I was looking for a paper clip. And then I also this morning, was it last night? I made these last night. And I was taking apart some earrings that I picked up at a thrift store because they look like bead dangles. They were like pre-made bead dangles. So I took them apart and took the little earring hook part off, you know, and then I put these on these paper clips that I already had. So they're all different colors and have, like this one has a chain, but the other ones have, like this one has 2 beads on it. That was already together and the little earring hook was here. So all I had to do, I always kind of keep my eye out because one time I found a necklace with so many, like a couple dozen of things like this, little bead dangles. And I took all the little bead dangles off and used them as bead dangles because that was like a jackpot of bead dangles there. So I always, when I'm at thrift stores, I always kind of look at the jewelry and see if there's any pre-made bead dangles for me. So, I mean, these have little bead caps and everything in there. There's a gold bead or a bronze bead on that one. A little, I don't know. The metal part of it is bronze colored too, so they already look vintagey. There's a little tiny bead there. This one that's like another bronze bead in the middle there. But they're really, really pretty. So I just hung them on these, and I have one right here hanging. Doesn't it look pretty? It's so simple. Just add a pre-made bead dangle from those earrings to this paper clip. So that was just, I just love those. So simple and so pretty. So next signature with this pretty paper here. Pocket. This is a bookmark. I also, whenever I see bookmarks, usually bookmarks are pretty cheap if you find them at a thrift store. So I usually try to pick them up if I see them. And this one fit into this pocket, and the colors were good for this journal, so that is right there. And then this is just a little tag that I had made. It's got a metal eyelet there, so cute, with a butterfly. This is the little flip up, and this is another one of those cards with the squares. This one I used scraps on, where I cut myself, and added a little cluster in the middle. So you've got a writing spot there, and you can write all around this, you know. I heard someone mention for once, and I try to remember this when I'm doing my own journaling. You don't have to just write like that. You can write sideways. You could write around in circles, and just, wouldn't that be fun to, in the future, open up a journal and, you know, think outside the box with your actual writing and just, you know, go for it and write in a circle, write in to the side, you know. Don't be afraid to get creative, even with writing. So here's a pocket here. This is a little tag I made out of a chipboard tag. Just added this pretty white lace to contrast colors with this color of a pretty colored vintagey looking tag. A little picture here. I'm trying to remember. I think I printed this out myself, because I told you before, I've hardly ever found black and white pictures. And I printed them on file folder because, first of all, the file folder looks vintagey from the color, the natural color of the file folder. And I like how they print the black and white pictures, print on them, and then I leave a little border to look like an actual picture. But you can write on the back and use this like a journaling card, tuck spot, you know, whatever you want. Decorate something else. Okay, so this is another typing page. You see the old typewriters here. I have a belly band sewn on here with 2 pretty pieces of note paper. Those I got from Temu. So they're like Van Gogh paintings. Pretty page from a book here, flower book, with an envelope glued on here, and note paper. I'm not going to take it out, but there's some pretty note paper. You can see the edge right there, and a pretty envelope there. This is some more edging because I ran out of that other trim. There's one more piece back here, and that was it. But then I wanted to put something different but the same color in the signature, so I put this pretty trim there, and you can see the edge there. This is just a corner decoration here, but really gorgeous. It's coffee dyed music paper. This is a metal or tin heart here. It actually looks like rusted metal. And then behind this is cheesecloth behind all of that. And this little girl was cut from an old children's book. Isn't she pretty? Here's a picture from looks like a bird page from this might be from a children's encyclopedia or some kind of children's book. Shorthand page there. This is a tuck spot here with some pretty trim. I've got a number there and just some pretty paper decorating that. And this is a library card that I had decorated here. You've got the top there and then a pretty flower that's glued on. And you can write on the back, on the front, whatever you want. But that's tucked in there. This is another up tuck here with a pretty, this is a papery card. So papery card there, really pretty. And use your imagination with these things. This is another piece of paper folded over from, I think these are all from the scraps from this journal, from the paper I used in here. Really gorgeous paper. I love it. And this is an encyclopedia page. So this just, I'm going to show you just something in just a second. Let me put this back on here. So this is just there for the person's use that gets this journal. And then under here, I just had put this little bunny, like she's hiding under the paper. So I put that little bunny there. I was looking for a spot for her, this little bunny. And I was like, oh, she can just hide right there. And then here's the center with some more buttons. These little flower buttons. There's another, there was a flower, the pink one was a flower button, and this is a flower button in this signature. And this is a little, I think this one might be newer. I don't know if it was used or not. It's from my used button jar, though. My thrifted buttons, I should say. Apparently it was never used. Okay, so this is a little inchy here. If you haven't heard of inchies, I did a video. Look up Turquoise Dreaming and inchies. But this little inchy I had made a while ago. It's got a little middle eyelet there, and it says happy. So, and this is on an encyclopedia, children's encyclopedia page. And this is an old paper clip, too. A little tuck up here, up tuck, that I decorated with some fabric ribbon. And in here, 2 pieces of note paper. These have a grid on them. So I think these are fun. And then a pretty piece of little note paper here with some floral design on the bottom. That's coffee dyed paper. Here, the page. Some more of that pretty washi shorthand page. A page from a children's book, maybe encyclopedia. I see it has different animals on it. This is that copy of my parents' telegram that I have, that I made some copies of. So that is one of them there. This can be a tuck spot here. It's open, and then it folds out like that. So for whatever you want to put on there. This is a scrap of paper that's been avocado dyed. Pretty floral page. Page from the typing book with the pretty blue fabric ribbon. Tuck spot here with some more of that fabric ribbon. And a pretty note paper. Pocket here with a tag. And third signature here, so more pretty paper. I tried to pick out papers that started the signature that would kind of coordinate, so you can see the kind of almost, it's more pinky but a little bit of peachy maybe colors here. And this has bluish. The first one had peachy and blue, so I've tried to coordinate those with the colors of the book here. This is where I folded over that paper so I wouldn't have to cut it out. Encyclopedia page here, a fold over paper. Is this a fold over paper. Let me see. This one I glued on, so it's a flip up. This one's a flip up. And it has a tuck spot, a hidden tuck spot under here. So you can tuck something under there if you want to hide something under there. Page from a children's book. This is an envelope where I made it into a page. There's another envelope connected to this on the back side of this signature. In here I just put a nice piece of ledger paper. It is a ledger, so I have some of this ledger paper that's, you know, wide this way but short this way. It's so pretty. It has green lines, kind of light green in the background, and it's in this pretty envelope here. So you can do whatever, cut that up, you know, make it into a writing spot somewhere, and then put whatever you want in this journal. That some of that trim that I used up in this journal, it's right here with the like tatting on it. Avocado die on the back, little flip out here. This is a decoration from my ink, my coffee spot stamps. So I had made, and this is a little like, you know, I like a splat or whatever that you can make from those stamps. Anyway, this is one of those pieces of paper that I was practicing on and having fun with those stamps as a page here. Pretty floral page. Shorthand. Pocket with one of my blue Rolodex cards. You can have fun with that. The center here, a green button, and this button is the oldest one on this signature. It has a red kind of line around the outside and then kind of ivory in the center. And if you notice, I kind of tried, not really super tried, but it kind of just happened almost by accident, where I just got out a bunch of buttons that I thought would match this journal. I had them here on my table, and I was like, as I went through, I put them in here, and I was like, wow, these actually really match these pages, because I wasn't looking at the particular pages really. I was just like, these might go with the journal. And so when I put them in here, I was like, wow, that really goes. And this green one really looks beautiful on this scrapbook paper too. So I was pleasantly pleased there with that outcome. This is a little narrow tag that I had made. I think I made this for Mini Moo Card Monday. So it's a little Mini Moo Card tag. I did a few of those with Aaliyah and Lolly's collab. And so, yeah, those are a lot of fun. If you haven't seen those, just search Mini Moo Cards. I've done some, Lolly's done some, and Scrappy Lolly Paper Co. and Aaliyah Deepina. This is a little journaling card in here. It's made with scraps and a butterfly in this envelope that's decorated with this pretty piece on the front there. Shorthand, there's that pretty washi again. And the floral page. There's a stamp here. This is my coffee colored ink. The other side of the envelope I was talking about, with a couple of journaling cards in there. Lots of writing space, lots of gluing space, lots of space in my journals to do whatever you want. You can see I decorate a little bit, and then I leave a lot of space for whoever gets the journals to totally make it their own. This is a Taboo. If you remember, if you've ever heard of it or remember that game, this is a Taboo score sheet. It has a date down here, 1989, I think it says. So very vintage. This is a little card. I wanted to put a little card in here, and I couldn't find the one I wanted, but I found this one. And this is probably even better, but it's a super cute. I love these little cards. It says, "To congratulate you." Maybe you can see the glittery flower here. And it's used as a little note here, or a little signature from Grace, Ralph, Curry, Carol, and somebody, Hayworth, or something like that. And it opens up like this. So you've got all of this space if you want to write in there. You could do some private journaling and then fold it back up, and nobody will know what's in there except for you. Encyclopedia page or kids dictionary type page. This is a little pocket here. I'm not going to unfold it. here's the back of the journal, okay? So that's that. Here's the page here. Beautiful scrapbook paper. So this page right here, I have a big tag in here with, this is from a Sears Roebuck reproduction catalog that I have, but it's an old one too. It's vintage. It's reproduction, but it's now vintage because it's been around for a while. There's a little pocket on the back here, little hidden pocket, but this pocket opens up. If you, when the person gets this, a little string there, just unfold it. It unfolds here. It's a whole, I believe it's a whole piece of paper. When I put it in here, I didn't even unfold it. I didn't want to take a chance of not getting it back together. I mean, I probably could because I made it, but still, I just didn't want to take it apart. But if you just gently pull on this, the whole thing will open up and you'll have lots of writing space there. That's the idea. Or if you don't want to ever, you know, untuck it, you don't have to, but there's a pretty doily decoration here, and that's coffee dyed paper. But you can, if you just want to use it for a pocket, the back is glued down, but this can be a pocket here where I have this. But you could also tuck something in this front part. So you can actually make this into 2 pockets. So that's just a fun little pocket there. And that is the journal. I kind of got to go because my time is pretty much up here. But real quick, there's lots of things in here for this person to have fun with. I put a washi, one of these little washi tapes, one of the little clips that Maria sent me, which you'll see these in a future video, Future Thrifty Thursday. I haven't posted that yet. This tag, some of these little sewn pieces that I made from the scraps from this journal. Some little clusters here, a duck that I fussy cut out. More, you know, she said she liked fussy cuts, and this little booklet, and made from the postcard book, a little journal made from the postcard book with the extra pieces there that I didn't put in there. So lots of goodies for her to have fun with. Thank you for watching today. I hope you enjoyed this journal, the making of it, and the final version. Let me know in the comments your favorite part of this journal, or maybe your 3 favorite things, because that helps me to know what to put in my next journals, right? Let me know your top 3 favorite things about this whole thing, okay? Even the goodie packet. Maybe it's the postcard thing, you know, that I included, or maybe it's the tassel. You know, top 3 things. You get the idea, so I'll let you go. Thanks for watching today, my friends, and I will see you in my next video. Have a great day.